I want to tell you about a man who turned courtrooms into battlegrounds for justice. Thurgood Marshall didn't just practice law. He weaponized the Constitution to dismantle Jim Crow, argued before the Supreme Court 29 times and won 25, and became the first African-American Supreme Court justice. This is the story of how a kid from Baltimore changed the meaning of equality in America. Thurgood Marshall was born in Baltimore in 1908, and his parents, William, a railroad porter, and Norma, a teacher, made sure he understood the power of words. When young Thurgood got into trouble at school, his punishment wasn't detention, it was memorizing the Constitution. His father took him to watch courtroom trials, and they'd debate cases at the dinner table. Growing up under Maryland's segregation laws, Marshall saw firsthand how separate but equal was a lie. Marshall wanted to attend the University of Maryland Law School, but they rejected him because of his race. So he went to Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, then Howard University School of Law, graduating first in his class in 1933. At Howard, he studied under Charles Hamilton Houston, who became his mentor and hero. Houston taught Marshall that a lawyer could be a social engineer, using the law as a tool to tear down unjust systems. Marshall joined the NAACP and started winning. In 1935, he forced the University of Maryland to admit its first black student, the same school that rejected him. Then came case after case, equalizing teacher salaries, challenging all-white juries. By the 1950s, Marshall was orchestrating a legal campaign aimed at the big target, school segregation itself. He and his team argued that separate could never be equal. The segregation inflicted psychological harm on black children. On May 17, 1954, the Supreme Court agreed unanimously in Brown versus Board of Education, declaring school segregation unconstitutional. Marshall had just rewritten American law. In 1967, President Lyndon B. Johnson appointed Marshall to the Supreme Court, making him the first African-American justice. In the court's 178-year history, Marshall brought the perspective of someone who'd lived segregation, fought it in court, and understood that the Constitution's promises meant nothing if they didn't protect everyone. He championed equal protection, criminal defendants' rights, and free speech. His dissents became blueprints for future civil rights arguments. He retired in 1991 and died in 1993, but his fingerprints are all over modern constitutional law. Marshall's legacy isn't just about winning cases or breaking barriers. It's about proving that the law can be a force for justice when wielded by people who refuse to accept inequality. Every time a court strikes down discrimination, that's Marshall's work echoing forward. He showed us that change doesn't require violence or revolution. Sometimes it requires a brilliant lawyer, a stack of briefs, and the courage to stand up and argue that America should live up to its own ideals. Thurgood Marshall spent his life bending that arc of the moral universe toward justice, one case at a time. He proved that the Constitution could be more than words on paper. It could be a weapon against injustice and a shield for the vulnerable. If you want to understand how America went from Plessy vs. Ferguson to marriage equality, start with Marshall. This is just a start. Remember to like and share. Thanks for watching.